channel now, so hopefully that won't take too long. Yeah, it's still loading up. It is. Until it goes live. Oh, there it is there. So the stream's up, the chat's up, and the audio is working as it should. Yep, okay. Everything is working as it should be. Absolutely fantastic. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to round 10 of the PlayStation Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this very special event, as this will be the 100th round in the history of Race Spec Esports Pacific Series. Oh dear, as I've just noticed, GeForce Ford has just left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to come back shortly. It's come an awfully long way since its beginning 2 and a bit years ago, starting in the middle of 2019. Even so, we still have members who have been here since the very beginning of the Pacific Series, which demonstrates what this league means to them. To those members, and they know who they are, I'd just like to thank them. On behalf of not only myself, but probably quite a few other people, for their continued service for the series and for making it what it is today. And also a big thanks for Plevs as well, Mr. Race Spec, for giving me the opportunity for commentating in the Pacific Series. Certainly has been a pleasure. Hopefully the race tonight will be an entertaining one to mark the occasion, and this racetrack can certainly do that. As you may have guessed already, we're at Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The 5.41 kilometre 15-turn circuit was constructed in 2004 and designed by track-making Supremo Herman Tilke. It served as the first ever racetrack in the Middle East to host a Formula 1 Grand Prix, and is generally regarded as a pretty solid racetrack. The circuit contains 3 DRS zones that lead into turns 1, 4 and 11. Turn 1 is usually the best overtaking spot on the circuit, but we do see a bit of action into turn 4, not so much turn 11. There are a few hazards for the drivers to look out for, such as the harsh curbs at turns 5, 6 and 7, and the auto spin inside curb at turn 12. Both areas have claimed many drivers over online league racing history. One of the nicer things about Bahrain is the little to no chance of rain. That usually makes for better racing and closer qualifying. But before we focus on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Texas. Absolutely no stewards reports whatsoever, so the results stand. GeForce Crichton is currently leading the championship on 185 points, followed by Spilly on 151. GeForce Ford is third on 140, followed by GeForce Wogboy on 131. Then Fiery Hour rounds out the top 5 on 129. Completing the top 10, we have Plevs, Karma, Scotty, Chip, and GeForce Zach. In the Constructors' standings, Mercedes are leading on 314 points, followed by McLaren on 213. So Mercedes are 101 points ahead. They're going to be untouchable come towards the end of the season. They've effectively wrapped up the championship even at this point. They've got that big of a lead. Aston Martin are third on 191 points, followed by Williams on 176. Rounding out the top 5, we have Ferrari on 158. Completing the top 10, we have Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Haas, Alpine and AlphaTauri at the bottom of the order. That's pretty much all the news out of the way now. We can now fully focus on qualifying. My commentating compatriot GeForce Pato is unable to attend tonight, which is a bit disappointing. It's always nice to have an extra pair of eyes looking over the racetrack, but I'll do my best to try and make up for that. Currently, we got GeForce Crichton on pole position with a 1 minute 26.3. We've just been watching at Chip here, making his way around the lap. He's coming out of turn 13, a critical corner on the racetrack. You have to make sure you get the exit right as to maximize the straight line speed down this straightaway. Up towards the penultimate turn of turn 14, and around the final corner of turn 15. Yes, this is 2 corners. Don't ask me why, it just is. He opens DRS and crosses the control line and jumps up to 5th place with a 1 minute 27.142. Fiery Hour has just started a flying lap. We're right on board with the Mercedes driver. He's on the medium tyre. Give you a proper tour of the racetrack. Exiting turn 1 around turn 2 and around turn 3. He'll open DRS and head down towards turn 4. Shifting into top gear. We'll enter at 307 kilometers an hour, bring it down to third. Gentle on the accelerator on the exit. A bit of a wiggle, but he doesn't invalidate his lap. Through turn 5, into 6. Now turn 7. And into the hairpin of turn 8 as G4 Swaggy jumps up to pole position with a 26.1. Up and over the crest around turn 9, then into the very tricky turn 10. Big lock up on the inside left front there. Oh, dearie me. Oh, he didn't invalidate. I thought he would have, but no, he didn't. Heading into turn 11. Fourth gear, hitting the apex nicely. Oh, and he's actually backed out of the lap. Interesting. Rightio. I don't know why he's backed out of that lap. As Leo is a widow has jumped up to second place with a 26.334. You can see already some of the times are very, very close. We got 3 drivers in the 26.3s, a driver in the 26.4s. And we've still got 5 more cars to set lap times over the course of quali. Fledge here is making his way towards turn 4. Gets on the brakes, brings it down to third gear. Short shifting on the exit there to try and find traction into the S section of turns 5, 6 and 7. Down and around turn 8. Brings it down to second gear. Short shifting to third on the exit to find traction up and over the crest. Around turns 9 and 10. Again, big lock up. Quite natural thing to do into that complex. Down the back straightaway towards turn 11. It is a potential overtaking spot. It's just a bit difficult to get anything done here. It's not a big braking zone. It's quite a quick corner naturally. So in order to overtake, you really do need to be alongside the driver you're battling going into the corner. Around turn 13, again, you have to get the exit right here. Heading down towards turns 14 and 15. Trying to get a sneaky toe there, players, as he heads into turn 14. Brings it down to third gear on the power. A few short shifts here and there as he heads down towards the control line with DRS wide open. And he sets a 1 minute 26.7 effectively. Goes 8th quickest. Yeah, pretty close already. Top 10 separated by a second. I imagine they will shrink as we go through qualifying. Yeah, quite right, Pato. Swaggy's already setting big benchmarks. But that's what you kind of expect from Swaggy. He's just a naturally very, very quick, very aggressive driver. So I guess he won't take time to try and dial himself into the racetrack. He'll just go out and set quick times right out of the box. And hello, Ventani. I think that's how you pronounce that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ventani. Yes, I notice you're a new driver, driving for AlphaTauri. Currently 14th with a 27.4. Only 1.4. Oh, hello. Mercedes-Benz in the background there. Awfully sideways. Was that Fiery Hour? No, it was Crichton. Trying to get his tyres up to temperature. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there at the exit of turn 4. We also got It's Grimmy. 85. Is he a new full-time driver? Oh, hello. 40's jumped up to pole with a 25.9. How's that? That's 1.5 tenths off pole position. 1.5 tenths in front of Swaggy, I should say. Oh dear. Got on the power just that little bit too early, exceeded the grip of the soft tyre, and away she went. Fortunately, didn't crash into the barrier. Otherwise, that would have been game over. Oh, I see. Thank you very much, Taylor. So he just went and named it. So It's Grimmy is Grim Reaper. Good to know. Good to know. So it's the same driver, just a different username. Good to know. Speaking of which, he's coming around turn 4, heading towards the opening sector split. What does the clock say for the Ferrari driver? He's up by 0.06 of a second. Down the hill. Around turn 8. I suppose you're right, Gavin. It is a bit less intimidating. As he heads around turns 9 and 10. No sign from a lock-up there. Took it nice and steady around that hairpin. Did it very tidily. Now turn 11. He has to negotiate at 308 kilometers an hour. He brings it down to about 160 as he hits the apex at turn 11. Around turn 12, you have to avoid that inside curve. Very nasty curve on the inside there. Grimmy is down by half a tenth there in the middle sector. Can you find any more time in this final sector? Not too many corners to negotiate, so you do have to get this pretty spot on to improve. Fourth gear, fifth gear, down the main straightaway he goes. He opens DRS, crosses the line, jumps up to P8, improving by a tenth to set a 1 minute 26.512. G-Force Crichton is currently up by 0.2 of a second in the first sector. I believe Spilly has just improved to a 26.1. Around turn 11, climbing up the hill as Wogboy's improved to P2 with a 26 flat. Crichton, he's up by 0.4 of a second. He's looking at a high 25 at this rate. Can he find any more time in this final sector? Heading towards the penultimate turn of turn 14. Hard on the brakes, fourth gear, clipping the apex nicely, using enough runoff curve on the outside. Opens DRS, crosses the control line, and jumps up to pole position, beating Ford by 0.06 of a second. It is very, very close at the top. Fantastic to see. But this is what you kind of have to expect here at Bahrain. Everybody knows this track. It's always at the beginning of some sort of season, so everyone knows how to drive around here. It's a bit like Silverstone in a way. A lot of people know Silverstone really, really well. So you tend to see quite close qualifying. And that's exactly what we're getting here tonight in Bahrain. As Swaggy here is making his way around turn 10, heading down the back straight away with DRS wide open. Shifted into top gear as he heads towards turn 11. On the brakes, fifth gear. Not bothering to use fourth to get extra rotation. He gets enough rotation in fifth. Crossing the second sector split, he's up by 78 thousandths of a second. That sort of improvement, he can take P3 away from Wogboy. If he could find a bit more time, he could try and take P2 away from Ford. Around turn 14, around turn 15, back onto the main straightaway he goes. DRS wide open, up towards the line, it's P3. He's missed out on P2 by 28 thousandths of a second. Leo is a weirdo, is making his way through the middle sector, coming towards the end of it in fact. Is he on a flying lap? He is up by 1.5 tenths as he's cut all of turn 13 and invalidated his lap. Oops. G-Force Zach, you're not on a flying lap. Karma, are you? No, you're on an in lap. Plevs, maybe? He's about even. What does the clock say here? No, he's down. He'll probably go into the pits. Hillez improves to P11 with a 26.5. Fiery Hour, he's up by 3.5 tenths in the first sector. He's on the soft compound tyre, you can see that there. Coming up to the middle sector split, he's up by almost a second. That sort of improvement, a 26.1, that will put him towards the top 5. Down towards turns 14 and 15. Hard on the brakes, fourth gear, gets the nose end, gets on the power, gets out of the final corner with a little bit of a wiggle. You'll open DRS, cross the line, and jump up to P5 with a 1 minute 26.118. This is close. I'll bring up the interval because we do have that. Look at that. 1 second from P1 down to P15. 1 second. The top 15. You're quite right, Proke Vegan. Lobby is stacked. Got some of the most amazing drivers within the Oceanic region here. And they're demonstrating that right now. Just shows you the competitiveness as well in Tier 1. It's very close. This is fantastic to see. Got a few drivers on that. Laps ACW's getting ready. Set a flying lap. I think Jedley has just taken off on a flying lap. He's currently 18th. Just 1.8 seconds off the pace. As ACW comes out of the final corner to begin what could be his final flying lap. He's heading down the main straight. 319, 320, 322. 3:23 as he heads into the braking zone of turn 1. Short shifting to 4th on the exit to find traction around turn 2. Very tricky, complex turns 2 and 3. Very easy to lose control. Heading up towards turn 4. Bringing it down from 8th gear to 3rd gear. Short shifting on the exit just to find traction. The clock says he's up by a 10th in the opening sector. Down the hill towards the hairpin of turn 8. Bringing it down to 3rd gear. Not bothering to use 2nd. In fact, short shifting to 4th. To try and find traction on the exit. Around turn 9 into 10. Bit of a lock up, but he hits that apex absolutely spot on. Rather traditional ACW style. Heading down towards turn 11. Brake where the 50 board should be, but it's disappeared. So anyone not using racing line, best of luck to you. Around turn 12, avoiding that inside curb, and he's up by half a second. He's looking at a high 25. Heading down this long straightaway towards the final 2 turns. Fiery Hour has retired in the pit lane, so the best he can hope for is 5th. Short shifting to 5th on the exit of 14. He heads down the main straightaway, opens DRS, crosses the line. It's P5 for ACW with a 1 minute 26 point getting ready. 40 and Crichton. The first of which will be G-Force Wogboy, I believe. Swaggy, he's entering the S section. 40's around the hairpin. Crichton, he's coming around turns 9 and 10. So yeah, Wogboy's the first. Spilly getting ready. Coming out to the final corner, heading down the main straightaway. Got yellow flag, so I can't... Okay, a minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. So this will be his final chance to set a flying lap. Leo is up by a 10th and a half in the first sector. He's making his way through the middle one now. He's short shifting to 5th on the exit of turn 11 to try and find traction around turn 12. Crossing the middle sector split, he is up by almost 0.3 of a second. He needs to find a little bit more time to crack into the 25s. He heads down towards turn 14 for potentially the final time in qualifying. Around the final corner of 15, he heads down the main straightaway, opens DRS. He'll cross the line to set a 25.967. He goes 3rd fastest, missing out on 2nd place by 6 thousandths of a second. 40's making his way through the opening sector. Crichton, he's just about to complete the opening sector. What does the clock say for our current pole sitter? He's up by literally a 100th of a second. What about 40? He's got a bit of traffic in front with Jedley, his teammate. Oh, a bit of extra rotation there from 40, riding that inside curb. Jedley gets out of the way. Around turn 8, missing the apex just by a little bit maybe. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle on the exit. He is pushing hard. Wogboy, he's making his way through the middle sector now. Around turn 11. Like with many other drivers, using 4th gear at the apex and short shifting to keep the rear end stable. The clock says for Wogboy he is down by a 10th, and I don't think he'll find that time back as Leo's getting out of the way. 40 has spun at turn 11. His qualifying is over. He cannot challenge for pole position. Meanwhile, Crichton, he's up by almost a 10th in the middle sector. He makes his way around the final 2 corners, heads down the main straightaway, opens DRS, crosses the line to set a 1 minute 25.717. I don't think anyone's beating that lap time. That's a mega lap from Crichton. Although Swaggy's up by a 10th and a half, I might have spoken too soon. Swaggy opens DRS, he crosses the line and misses out on pole position by just over a 10th of a second, but he will start on the front row. I think that might just be qualifying over. Got Chip here, yeah, his qualifying's done. Same with Vitaney. There we are, it's Crichton on pole. The 125.717. Beating G-Force Swaggy. It's set a 1 minute 25.849. Gap between the two, 0.132 seconds. Very close. Good to see. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with the 26.6 as well, Ventani. I'd be very happy with that sort of lap. These guys need crowns. Yeah, they're definitely aliens, aren't they? Almost as good as your Silverstone lap, you say? Oh. It looked like a pretty good lap from the bits and pieces that I saw. How about that? Look at that. Top 16. Separated by less than 1 second. Only 2 drivers over that second range. That is incredible. Got Crichton on pole, Swaggy second, Ford in third, Leo in fourth, Wogboy in fifth, ACW in sixth, Fiery Hour seventh, Grimmy in eighth, Zach in ninth, and Spilly rounds out the top 10. Karma will start P11, followed by Plebs, Hilles, Bags Liddell, Chip, Ventani, Average Only, and Jedley will start from the back of the field. 18 drivers, pretty healthy field. It's not a full field, but it's a pretty healthy field. So hopefully we get to see a entertaining race here at Bahrain. Certainly qualifying tells us it's going to be close. Oh, we're going to see some DRS trains. It might be fairly similar to what we saw at Kota. Saw a lot of tight racing at Kota because of how close everyone was in terms of lap time. We're probably going to see the same thing here in Bahrain. Oh, what do you know? It's not raining. Oh, man, what a surprise. I thought for sure this time it was going to rain, but no, it's not raining. Yeah, but no. I think the strategy here, I think it's soft-medium, if I recall correctly. We're probably going to have a safety car at some point, which will shake things up. But I think if it runs green flag from start to finish, it'll be soft-medium. Pole in Tier 2 was a 26.3. Well, there you go. Yeah, turns 1, 2, and 3 here at Bahrain. It is a sketchy bit of racetrack because you're desperately trying to put as much power down as possible, but you're also steering the car around corners. And ideally, you would like the car to be as straight as possible in order to get as much traction down as you can. But no, it's a finicky bit of racetrack, really tough. Very easy to lose control. As drivers found out in Elite Series when we had a start glitch and everyone's tyres just froze. Literally, they went to like 60 degrees, their tyres. And they went through the opening complex and, my goodness, a lot of them spun. So, hopefully we won't have that for this race start. Hopefully everyone will have warm tyres. Rightio, we'll run through the order again. Excuse me. We'll go through who's starting where and who's on what tyre. So we've got Crichton on pole on the soft tyre. Got Swaggy alongside also on the soft tyre. 43rd on the soft tyre, followed by Leo on the soft tyre as well. Wogboy P5 on the soft tyre. He'll have ACW alongside on the soft tyre. Fiery Hour P7 on the softs. Grimmy in 8th on the softs. Zach in 9th on the softs. And Spilly P10 on the soft tyre. All of them worn soft tyres from qualifying. Karma P11. He gets a free choice of tyre and he's starting on the medium. Same with Plebs in P12. So the McLaren boys, they're doing the same strat it seems. Hilles P13 on the medium tyre, followed by Bags Liddell, the only driver outside the top 10 starting on the soft tyre. He's probably going to be aggressive, try and make up positions early, get inside that top 10. Chip P15 on the mediums, Ventani on the mediums as well. In P16, Average Only P17 on the mediums, and Jedley will start from the back of the field, also on the medium compound tyre. Rightio, so we got 7 on the mediums, that means 11 on the soft compound tyre. Leaders are making their way back onto the grid. Now Crichton, he'll be starting on the outside for turn 1. He's on the racing line, so he should have more grip, as it's a cleaner bit of racetrack, but if he doesn't get a great start, Swaggy has the inside line for turn 1. So does Leo, if he gets a good start. So it might be a bit interesting into turn 1. There's the predicted tyre stop strategy, but I do believe it's a one stop here in Bahrain. Jedley's lining up, and I think one of the McLarens as well. So we'll get underway very, very shortly. As I mentioned earlier, we have 18 cars tonight, 29 laps in front of us, and 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Bahrain. It's a very nice start from Crichton. I think he will lead the field down towards turn one. He most certainly will. Swaggy can do nothing. Meanwhile, in the midfield, it's 2 by 2 heading into turn one. Drivers trying to get around unscathed. Bit of carnage here in the middle as the drivers try and sort themselves out. Oh, that's close between Grimmy and Spilly there as they exit turn 3, heading down towards turn 4. G-Force Zach trying to get a move done on the inside. A bit of contact. Oh, and a spinning car. It's Fiery Hour, the Mercedes. And he drops down to last place, or almost in last. Oh, as Average only falls off the racetrack too. Brings out yellow flags just ever so briefly. But Fiery Hour, he definitely has damage as 40 and Swaggy are battling for position heading into turn 9. Oh, and Leo wants a piece of the action as well, but he can't get around the Haas. Heading down the back straightaway. Look at Crichton. He's got a 1 second lead already, thanks to the squabbling going on between these three in P2, 3 and 4. Wogboy just behind, then ACW, Spilly in P7. Grimmy's a bit far behind now. He's 7/10 behind. He's still within that 1 second range, which is the critical thing. But he can't lose too much more time to those in front of him. Rest of the midfield pretty well close together. These trains forming already. Carnage going on back here, is there? Not too much. Fiery Hour going in? No. I swear I saw someone get wing damage. Or a few drivers are in. So G-Force Zach, Average only, and Bags Liddell, they're all into the pits. As Spilly and ACW are battling for position. It's tight at the exit of turn 2. Heading down towards turn 4. Spilly has the inside line. But ACW has the speed. And he hangs on to P6. Meanwhile, Ford has closed in to 7/10 to Crichton, so he's still within that 1 second range. Chip has overtaken Hillez for P11, I've noticed as well. Around the hairpin at turn 8, look at them. Oh, closely spaced together. This is going to be a long race. Oh, hello, we've got a gap forming between the two McLarens. Plebs needs to keep up. He cannot lose touch with his teammate. Those three who have gone into the pits, their race is done unless there's a safety car at some point. And it will be done for anyone else who is not part of the lead train. Because it's going to be very, very difficult to fight if you're not in some sort of train. Swaggy losing a bit of ground to 40. He needs to get closer to 40. That will be the most ideal thing for his situation. For 40 and Crichton, they would like to pull away and just have a fight between themselves. That will be their ideal situation. As it's now lap 3 of 29. 40 is close, not using any battery, so he's not going to try and challenge Crichton into turn 1, but he might challenge Crichton into turn 4. Heading around turns 2 and 3. Mentioned earlier, it's a tricky complex to get right. The gap is 3/10 of a second. Running right and spinning is Swaggy. He has spun. He is backwards. Revs the car up, gets it pointed back in the right direction. Very safe rejoin there from Swaggy. Very well done, but he's down in 15th place. Oh dear, that's unfortunate luck. Just getting on the power that little bit too early, losing the back end. Also saw Leo run wide there at turn 3. Got all 4 wheels off the racetrack, but he's still going. He's still in 3rd. As Fiery Hour has overtaken Chip. Actually, they're battling for position, it seems. Hello on the exit. Both cars should have DRS, but Fiery Hour has the overspeed, and he gets in front of the Red Bull before turn 11, so he moves himself into P10. Right, there's a gap beginning to form between Wogboy and ACW. Needs to close in. A few sparks flying off the Aston Martin, I think, there of Spilly. The exit at turn 13. Yellow flags at Swaggy. This time at 12, turn 12. Gets it going again. He does need to be careful. Those tyres will be very hot. Here comes 40. On the racing line. Crichton fights. Big dive bomb from the Mercedes driver. He parks the bus as well on the exit. Keeps 40 behind. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle from the Williams driver as he gets DRS. No, he doesn't. Oh, can Leo get by? Oh, it's close. He's hit him. Just a little touch. Just an itty-bitty touch. Nothing major. Oh, it's G4 Swaggy has retired in the pit lane. And Hilles has spun. That's what I was going to allude to earlier. I thought this car might have retired. It wasn't. It was Swaggy. Battling going on up here. Saw a few position changes. Grimmy and Karma battling for position. Players not too far behind. So these fellas, they're out of the lead train and they're not going to catch up. It's going to be next to impossible to catch up unless there's a safety car. So the lead train is 6 cars. It's Crichton, Ford, Leo, Wogboy, ACW, and this man, Spilly. He's just on the back of ACW. He needs to stay within 1 second. Meanwhile, Leo is very close to Ford. Ford half a second behind Crichton. But he's going to get a whole heap of momentum with DRS down the main straightaway. Leo gets close on the brakes, but not close enough to attack Ford into the penultimate corner. Heading down the main straight, Crichton moves to the inside. DRS wide open, and look at the overspeed. 0.3 of a second, 2.5 tenths, 2 tenths, 1.5. Not close enough to attack into turn 1. Ooh, Leo very close there at turn 1. Very close to the Williams. He looks racy. Leo is a weirdo. It's good to see. Heading down towards turn 4. No one really in a position to attack just yet. Now they just need to make their way through the middle sector as Fiery Hour has overtaken Grimmy. Grimmy has taken the position back and Fiery Hour has taken it back. And he's taken the position completely now. He's up into 9th. Now he has to try and get by the 2 McLarens of Plevs and Karma. Grimmy was at the front of this train. He's now down in 10th. I wonder if he made a mistake. Either that or he was quite literally a sitting duck with no DRS, which is entirely possible. Bags Liddell and Average only are changing positions down in 16th and 17th. It's going to be a long, long race for them, so hopefully they're enjoying their little battle, making the most of a not too great situation. There's your lead pack. Ford is closer this time around by about 1.5 tenths, 2 tenths. Can he try and make the move for the lead around turn 14? Crichton gets a pretty decent exit there. And again moves to the inside. As Grimmy is overtaken by Chip. Chip moves into P10. No, he's not going to be close enough to attack. Crichton defends. Gets around. Nothing major. There's Plebs and Karma change places. They're side by side through turn 1. And here comes Fiery Hour on the scene as Ford has indeed taken the lead. Keep an eye on this though, because this is pretty interesting. There's Fiery Hour looking down the inside. They're still side by side, Karma and Fiery Hour. Fiery Hour, oh, it doesn't give him too much room on the exit there and moves himself into 8th place. Crichton though fights back. Contact between Crichton and Leo is a widow there at the hairpin of turn 8. They're heading towards 9 and 10. There's no overtaking done here. No siree. You have to wait until turn 11 for an opportunity. Crichton is close. He's got DRS, but he doesn't have the overspeed to try and attack Ford down the inside unless he dive bombs it. He's looking, and Ford left him room there. He did not apex turn 11 at all. He left about a car's width there for Crichton if he did indeed go for it. Around turn 13 and down the straightaway towards the penultimate turn. Leo here in 3rd as Wogboy and ACW. Might ride on board here with Leo. I reckon this will be an interesting camera view. Around the penultimate turn, yellow flags. Vertani is out of the race, crashing out at turn 12, and we have a safety car. There he is there. Poor fella on debut as Ford, Wogboy, ACW and Spilly are all into the pit lane. They're all in. Bring up the tyre graphic. See what they change onto. A few other drivers are in as well. Pitting onto the medium compound tyre. Vertani's car is despawned. Oh dear. A few drivers onto the hard. Fiery Hour on the hard tyre. Plevs on the hard tyre. But he started on the medium, so there wasn't really the medium tyre to go onto for this pit stop. He had to use a different compound, so he's using a set of hards. What he could afford to do is do one lap on the hard tyre, then switch to the mediums again, but he will lose track position as a result. As Ventani has left the session. Unlucky, buddy. Turn 12, quite a notorious section of racetrack. Very easy to get it wrong. Yeah, I think you're right, KD. These two have missed the pits. Karma has stayed out strategically. Yeah, Crichton and Leo having to stay out. Will they pit? Will they try and make this work on the soft tyre and try and go as long as they can? Didn't hit the curb, just went. Yeah, fair enough. The car can just go on you. I've done that a few times myself. Where you just exceed the limit of the tyre. Just that little bit too much. And as soon as the car goes, there's really not much you can do to save it. So, I feel for you. Crichton's still keeping temperature in his soft tyre. Not sure if that's really a sign or not. But he might be trying to stay out on those tyres. He's pulling off to the inside. No, he's going to try and go in. And they come. Crichton has got medium tyres at the ready. And with Leo. Someone else has come in as well. That's Max Liddell. Onto a set of medium compound tyres. A fresher set. Oop. Love that pit lane glitch. So these two who were battling at the front all race. Just been... Well, they've just been kicked in the butt, basically, because of that safety car coming out and the timing of that safety car coming out. They were 1 and 3. They're now 14th and 15th. Just shows you that luck plays a very big part in races. It's not just about skill, it's not just about the car, it's not just about setup. Luck. And luck plays a big part. And these two, well, they got luck, just the worst kind of it. They've got a lot of work to do to claw their way through. I mean, we know how aggressive Crichton is. We know his racecraft. So he'll do all he can to try and claw his way through. But just with the train-like nature of the racetrack, in order to try and pass, especially if you're in the middle of those trains, you have to be exceptionally aggressive. And you need a bit of cooperation with those you're trying to pass as well. Alrighty, so everybody, except for only a few drivers, have pitted for new tyres. So Karma, a safety car, is going in this lap. So Karma hasn't pitted. Average only made a stop earlier. He's still on the medium tyres from that stop. Same with GeForce Zach in 9th. Interesting. Got 3 drivers on the hard tyre, that being Ples, Fiery Hour, and Jedley. Rightio, Karma taking his time, he's allowed to. GeForce Ford right behind. Whoa, he's right there. This isn't going to be the most amazing restart in the world, but we're back on the green flag racing, and Fordy might try and pass Karma into turn 1 here. He's 2/10 behind, getting temperature into his tyres. No, not close enough to attack into 1, so Karma will lead the field around turn 1. Fiery Hour and Plebs battling for position as they're heading around turn 3. Fiery Hour take that P6 away from Plebs. Chip is awfully close. Looking to the inside here into turn 4. Grimmy has overtaken Jedley as well. That was for P10. Oh, Fiery Hour tries to get the over-under done on the Red Bull. They're side-by-side through turn 6. They're probably going to be side-by-side through 7. It's tight, but they get it done. Fiery Hour has the inside line, but Chip is on the medium tyre. Oh, it's tight racing. It's great stuff to watch as they head up and over the crest around turn 9. Chip has the inside line. He has the authority. He keeps 7th. Crichton, Leo battling for position here. As Average Only and Hillez has dropped to 15th and 16th. They're battling into turn 11, as you can see. Hillez on the outside there. Oh, he's in 15th. Average Only now in 16th. lot of tight battling going on. Jedley is going to have his wing mirrors full of Mercedes-Benz. No, he isn't. He's going to be passed by Mercedes-Benz already. Crichton getting by into 11th place. He's got 1.6 seconds to make up as Ford has taken the lead. Karma has relinquished it. So it's 40 leading from Karma. Wogboy in third. Oh, it's Karma overshooting turn 1 just a little bit. I'm not sure if he hit 40 either. They head down the straightaway towards turn 4. Wogboy, will he line up and overtake? Karma sort of defending, half defending there, as Jedley has made a mistake at turn 2. Wogboy's alongside. He has the inside line for 6th, and he's through into 2nd place. ACW, he has to try and get by Karma now. Spilly just behind as well in 5th. Then it's a 1.4 second gap back to Plev. So already we got this lead train forming. Just a few laps after the restart. As he's got Chip and Fiery Hour for company. G4 Zakitson too far behind. Neither is Grimmy. Then there's Crichton. He's within 1 second of the Ferrari in P11. And Leo, he's tagging along too. Around turn 12. There's the lead pack. Is essentially the midfield pack. Led by Plevs. ECW. He's close. He needs a lot of momentum though down this straightaway to try and attack into turn 1. A bit of a wiggle there from ACW. Spilly's close as DRS is enabled. Dumping whatever battery he's got. He's closing in by a little bit. You can see there the flashing red light on the back of Karma's car. He is already low on ERS. Remy is overtaking G-Force Zach. Zach will fight back here at turn 2. Contact! Spin! G-Force Zach is facing 180 degrees in the wrong direction. He's now facing in the right direction, but he's now down in 15th place. Chip right behind players, just unable to do anything through this middle sector. You essentially just have to wait until the next lap to try and make any sort of moves. ACW would like to get by Karma as soon as possible. The gap between Karma and Wogboy is now 1.3 seconds. Can he try and get by here into turn 11? Karma doesn't have DRS. And here comes ACW. Karma does not put up any sort of resistance. And he takes P3. He now needs to get the hammer down to try and catch up to the top 2. Speaking of which, only 0.4 of a second separating these two at this stage. 40 opening the gap a little bit. Wogboy closing in. It's sort of fluctuating in these micro sectors. They're fairly even, it seems, in terms of pace, which is not at all surprising going off qualifying. But Wogboy has DRS, and look at him close the gap. Now 0.4, now 3.5, now 0.3, 2.5, 2/10, 1.5. Not close enough to attack into turn 1. Plebs though, oh, he's got Chip right behind. Can Chip find a way by into turn 4? Plebs gets a pretty tight run through turns 2 and 3. I don't think Chip will be able to do anything into turn 4 unless it's an almighty send. Yeah, nothing. Can't get by. Grimmy and Crichton close together on track here. They head through turns 5, 6 and 7. Down the hill towards turn 8. Crichton's looking to the inside. He sends it! Oh, and he parks the car beautifully at the apex, but Grimmy gets the traction and the inside line here at turn 9. Crichton, though, trying to fight around the outside. Can he keep it there? Lovely bit of driving from both of them. Absolutely fantastic car control. No contact whatsoever. Just really aggressive driving. And here comes Leo down the inside of turn 11 to move himself into P10. Grimmy, though, gets a great run. He tries to draw alongside, but can't really drive around the outside. There's no grip off the racing line at turn 12. You have to be on it. So he has to take P11. All right, Chip. What are you going to do here? 3.5 sparks flying off the McLaren as they head down the main straightaway. DRS, ERS, using everything, and Plebs has got nothing in reserve as Carmo's been overtaken by Spilly as well. Oh, as Crichton's looking down the inside of his teammate there, and lets him through. Fair play. Crichton's on the charge. No point fighting your teammate. Just let him do his thing, I suppose. As Billy goes down the inside of ACW into third place. Crichton has overtaken Plebs down the inside. Plebs can't quite get the over-under done. So Crichton's into seventh. Plebs, he's got Fiery Hour right behind. Who looks to the inside? Plebs goes deep into the hairpin to cover off Fiery Hour, and he is successful. Mercedes is unable to get by. Oh, it's tight into the braking zone. Look at them. Wing to gearbox as they go through turn 10. I was going to say bumper to bumper, but that's not quite right, is it? With a Formula 1 car. As they go around turn 11. Fiery Hour. Looking fiery. Living up to his name. Trying to find a way by Plebs. A bit stuck on those hard compound tyres. They just don't have the edge of the medium tyre. If he had those medium tyres, I think he would get by Plebs a bit easier. And vice versa, Plebs would have an easier time defending if he had the medium tyre as well. They're on the hard tyre. They're trying to make him work as Billy sets the fastest lap of the race. Wogboy not bothering to use any DRS there. You could see the flap shut. He doesn't want to battle just yet, it seems. Either that or he just broke a tad bit early, which disengaged DRS. Who knows? The latter's probably the more logical and more realistic reason. Just broke a little bit to stay behind Ford as Leo has overtaken Fiery Hour for 9th place. Again, those medium tyres, they just got the edge on them at the moment. Now, as the race pans on, those hard tyres will start to become better and better and better. And they'll start to be the more optimal tyre, but at this stage, it's a bit difficult for those hard tyre runners. Around turn 10, onto the back straightaway. Look at them. Just a proper train going on here for P8, the battle for P8. Oh, Leo down the inside. Plebs leaves the door open. Fair play. Nice bit of respectful driving there. Just not resisting too hard. Just letting him through. Giving just enough room. They head down towards penultimate turn of 14. Crichton's on the back of Chip. He's literally on the back of Chip. Here he comes. Goes to the inside. Karma's got DRS as well. Look at just the speed that the Mercedes has. Down into turn 1. To Chip's credit, he's trying to fight on the outside. Can't quite get the over-under done on Crichton. So he's into P6. Next is Karma. Wogboy, I think he's pretty content staying behind 40 at this point. I reckon he was close enough to pass there looking at the interval, but he's staying behind. He's playing a longer race. Wogboy, he's a very patient driver. He's awfully quick, Wogboy, but he's also very patient. Willing to burn time just to try and apply pressure, save up a bit of resources as well, and try and attack towards the end when it matters. And he doesn't need to do any more hard work in his position either. He's in a pretty comfortable second place. Billy 1.7 seconds behind. And he knows 40 as well. So there's no need to do anything silly around him. Just stay behind, do what you need to do. Sector 2, yellow flags. That's Jedley? Yes. Oh, he's got a front wing missing as well. VSC? No. Alright, fair enough. Alrighty, Wogboy. Let's see. Will he go for it? Yeah, not using any battery. And there you go. See there. Switching it off. You could hear it. Crichton gets by Karma, who's a sitting duck at the moment. Here comes Chip. On the outside, Karma gives him enough room. They're side by side heading towards turn 2. Karma fights back here at turn 3. Down the straightaway we go. They both have DRS. It's a drag race into turn 4. Karma has the inside line. Chip, he has fresher tyres. Oh, it's tight on the exit. There's a little bit of contact. Karma hangs on to P6. Plebs, Grimmy battling for position there into turn 6 as well. As I think Grimmy got a time penalty. As Jedley gets a penalty, he definitely got one. For speeding as he retires in the pit lane. Retirement number 3. Grimmy close, but no cigar into turn 10. Chip. Oh, he's backing off. He's waiting. You can hear from the engine note. He lifted just a little bit. A little bit. There's that little bit of gamesmanship going on. He's just waiting for the right moment. There's no point overtaking at turn 11 when you can do it at turn 1, essentially. Because if you ever overtake at turn 11, and the guy you overtook is still right behind you, then they'll just pass you back into turn 1. So... Alright, well, what do you go for this time? The answer is yes. He actually used a fair bit of battery to get this done. And he takes the lead. Oh, 40 gigs close. Chip gets by as well. He's into P6 with the power of DRS. He gets by relatively simply. There's ACW. And Crichton chasing Spilly for 3rd place. This has been a hell of a charge from Crichton. But towards this pointy end of the field, it's not going to be easy to overtake these guys. They're very much at the top of their game. The first on Crichton's list will be ACW, and ACW will not make it easy. Around turn 9, into turn 10. Crichton's close. He won't be able to do much here at turn 11, so ACW doesn't need to worry here. The important bit will be getting a run out of 13 and out of 14. That'll be the important thing. Oh, we've got a bit of shuffling going on here as Karma and Leo are side by side. Around turn 12, Karma has the inside line, but Leo on the better tyres holds it on the outside. Very committed driving from Leo. It's a nice exit as well and tries to draw alongside the McLaren. Will Karma back off? Well, the answer appears to be no. So Karma, he'll lead. Give Leo DRS to try and get by. He'll do so pretty easily. ACW close, not close enough to attack. Karma, will he be overtaken by Fiery Hour? The answer is also no. Plebs gets by Grimmy as well. DRS. Gets himself into P10. Crichton gets by ACW. Big send here at turn 4. Gets it done. Next target is Spilly. This will be a bit easier because Spilly doesn't have DRS to help him out. Though Spilly is awfully close to DRS, only 1.1 seconds behind. And you get a nice exit here, Spilly. Yeah, pretty tidy. Both drivers were pretty tidy. ACW just hovering behind as Jedley has left the session. Fair enough. Fair enough. Up the hill. Around turn 12. Grimmy's close to Plebs again. Ah, I see. At turn... turn 11. Alrighty. Now first, 40. Will he try and get by? I don't think he will. He's not close enough, I reckon. Unless it's the biggest of dive bombs. He used a little bit of battery, just a little bit. He turned it on briefly, then he turned it off. Here he comes. Oh! The big weave there from Crichton. Bit of a dummy, a bit of a Sebastian Vettel from 2018. Spanish Grand Prix, to be precise. Spilly, though, he's having none of it. He's got DRS, he's going to try and pass him back. Crichton's going to go deep. They're side by side. Oh, it's tight on the exit. It's very tight on the exit. Spilly has the nose in front, but Crichton has the inside line. But Spilly hangs it there. What a great bit of driving from Spilly to hang on to 3rd place. Oh, very close there into the hairpin at turn 8. There's a proper match up here between these two. Big send from Crichton gave Spilly little room, but Spilly was having none of it. Kept it on the outside at turn 6. And he kept the nose in front into 7, which was the critical thing. And Crichton could not do a thing. ACW is now getting closer. Leo's trying to catch up to Chip in P6. 1.6 seconds. Chip is doing a pretty solid job there in P6. He's got a healthy gap to the car behind. Hopefully he's able to manage it. Into the penultimate turn around the final corner. Not sure how Spilly can hang on in this sort of situation. Crichton's a lot closer. Doesn't have any battery at his disposal, really. Oh, big lift there from Crichton. He doesn't want to attack Spilly into turn 1. Doesn't want to do it. Very un-Crichton-like. Opens DRS, uses battery this time. Spilly leaves the inside line open. Spilly this time can't hang it around the outside. He tries to get the over-under though. Can't quite get it done. I thought he was actually going to get that done. He got a nice run down the inside. Crichton just got enough power down to keep that Mercedes in front. Now he's got the task of closing in on Wogboy in 4. The gap is 1.7 seconds. There's the leaders. They're not too far in front, but without DRS it is going to be tricky. It's not like this battle between Crichton and Spilly is over yet either. Spilly has DRS, and if he can get a good run through that final sector, he could be able to challenge Crichton at turn 1, or even turn 4 for that matter. Spilly's doing exactly that, 4 tenths behind. There's ACW just lingering in 5th. There's Chip in P6. Around the penultimate turn. Around the final turn. Heading down the main straight. Half a second is the gap. Crichton has very little battery, but Spilly doesn't have much more. He closes in, not by enough to attack into turn 1, but if he can get a run through the opening 3 corners, he might be able to attack into turn 4. Fiery Hour gets by Leo is a weirdo, so Fiery Hour into P7. Spilly, is he close enough here? Oh, the answer is no. What he could do strategically is try and stay behind and save some battery. Has ACW been doing that? Not really. ACW is quite low on battery too. So drivers really using up their resources quite a bit. Look at Karma. He just made a pit stop. He's down in 15th, almost 10 seconds behind the next car. He's sort of stuck in no man's land. He has to pray for a safety car at some point. But with the amount of drivers we have left, it would mean that everyone who finishes will score points. So there is still a little bit of emphasis to try and finish the race and not just give in. Around turn 13. The gap is half a second between the top 2. It's 40 from Wogboy. There's a 2-second gap back to Crichton. Spilly's a bit closer that time around. He's 3 tenths behind. Ain't that 4 tenths? 4.5. Yeah, probably 4.5 now. Can Spilly go for it? Not really. Oh, hang on. Look at the overspeed though. Look at that overspeed. DRS is properly powerful. Through turn 2, around turn 3. Up the hill towards 4. Again, not quite close enough. He's not using DRS. He's kept the flap shut. He kept it shut. Karma sets fastest lap with a 28.3. That is to be expected. He is on fresh, soft compound tyres. And I think average only made a stop for fresh tyres as well. He's now down in 15th. Around turn 10. The gap's still at about 2 seconds between the top 2 and Crichton. He's not been able to catch up to those top 2. No DRS. It's a bit of a struggle. Towards turn 13. The gap's still about half a second. Oh boy, he's got a little bit of battery. He's using a bit here. The exit of turn 13. Gap 5.5 tenths of a second. Around turn 14, then this little kink of 15. We'll open DRS and close the gap. That gap close. 5 tenths, 4.5 tenths. 4 tenths, 3.5. 2.5, 2. As Chip goes into the pit lane. Oh, I see. So he was on 15 lap on mediums. What? He's in. Interesting. Maybe he got a puncture or something? Maybe? I don't know. But I think if you're in this sort of situation, you want to try and go to the end. I suppose the amount of laps that have actually ticked by, there could be punctures. So we better keep an eye out for yellow flags and for the intervals. If we see an interval increase or decrease rapidly, there's a fair chance that somebody might have a puncture. But I suppose we'll find out. We'll wait and see. Around turn 11. Gap is 3/10. Well, boys, a bit closer. 40 pulls out the gap. So Wogboy, he has to deal with all the dirty air through the high-speed corners. He doesn't have the same amount of downforce as 40 does with all that clear air in front of him. Crichton is closed in by a tenth or two. He's 1.8 seconds behind now. He's within touching distance. He can see the top two. He just hasn't found a way to close that gap, and he's starting to chip away at it now. 6 laps to go. Wogboy's close. He's got a whole heap of momentum. And he's just moving that Ferrari just out of the slipstream, putting it in 40's wing mirrors, just telling him, I'm here, buddy. If you make a mistake, I'll have you. Heading down towards turn 4. Again, not quite close enough to attack here. Bags Liddell is into the pit lane. He's on soft tyres now. Oh, good. We get a close-up of the concrete. Thanks, Ken. Nice camera work. Six tenths. 40's built up a slightly bigger margin. Wogboy will close in with DRS. Just by a little bit. Gap is now 1.5 seconds between Wogboy and Crichton. All that Crichton needs to do is get within that 1 second range. When he does, he's in this battle. And if Spelly and ACW tag along, then they could join this battle too at the front. Down towards the final 2 turns. Gap is 4 tenths. And Crichton would love the idea of Wogboy and 40 battling one another. It would mean he would close the gap by quite a bit towards those two. What does Wogboy do? He's got momentum. He switches off DRS. Crichton, he's lost a little bit of time to Wogboy and Ford. He lost about 2 tenths there. Leo gets by Fiery Hour. He is into P6s. Hillez gets a 5-second penalty for speeding. His tyres look okay, but he's in. He's into the pits. Zach is in too. His tyres look okay. Don't they? That's alright. Oh, hello. Fiery Hour has taken the position back. Plebs has overtaken Grimmy. That is for... Oh, Grimmy fights back. Here we go. It's turn 6. Grimmy round the outside. Gives him the inside line for 7. Great bit of driving there from the Ferrari driver. Awesome stuff. Ooh. Fairly close there at turn 8. Bit of a wiggle as well. 1.3 seconds is the gap. Oh boy. Biding his time just a little bit. Crichton just... He's there. He's right there. He's in the same camera shot, but he's just not close enough to battle. You're a tad bit frustrated by that, I imagine. I certainly would be. I want to get onto this battle. Try and fight for the win. 6 tenths. Wogboy won't be close enough to attack Ford into turn 1. Not this time around. We've got 4 laps to go. Closing in, closing in, closing in. And Spilly has overtaken Crichton. Crichton, a sitting duck on the straight, couldn't do a thing. But he'll have DRS here. Ples and Grimmy battling for 8th. Chip sets the fastest lap in the process with a 1 minute 28.190. Now Spilly's trying to close that gap to the 2 in front. What's Spilly's pace like? He is closing. He's almost within that 1 second range. So Spilly got a massive slingshot from Crichton, and as a result, he's within a second at the DRS detection point. He should have DRS, and he does. But can he stay within that 1 second range at the most critical point, the most critical DRS detection zone, before turn 14? The gap is 1 second, just over 1 second. He has to get turn 13 right. He needs to get it spot on. He needs to use a bit of battery while he's at it, and that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, he's just outside of it by a tenth. He hasn't quite joined the battle, not just yet. Now we've got 3 laps to go. Wogboy closing in on Ford. Not by enough though here to attack into 1. And Wogboy, he's been playing a patient game, waiting for the moment to strike. Trouble is, when you leave it this late to try and make a move, it can backfire. No 40, he's going to try his hardest to hang on. Spilly, he's lost 2 tenths to the top 2. So this battle here might be for 3rd place and nothing more, unless these 2 in front really start scrapping. G4 Sax sets fastest lap with a 27.6. Exiting turn 11, heading down the back straight. DRS wide open for Wogboy. Won't attack here. He's unable to attack here into turn 11. Up the hill, around turn 12. And into turn 13, the gap is 1.1 between Spilly and Wogboy. He needs to use every bit of battery he's got. Close that gap. He's just over a second. He hasn't done enough again. Just missing out on DRS. You'll see it here when he crosses DRS detection line. He just doesn't have it yet. 40. He's not under attack from Wogboy because he switched off his DRS again. He's not going to attack into 1 with 2 laps to go. Oh, hang on. Spilly's within a second. Spilly is within 1 second. He's within 7/10 of a second. 40 and Wogboy went through turn 1 so slowly. Spilly's now on to the back of this. Well, it should be. 7/10 behind. There's a chance, a slim chance, and he could win this race. Same with Crichton, same with OCW. Right on the back of the train. He could try and do something. Or maybe just sit back and hope the 4 in front have some sort of big accident. Because it will be tough to pass at the back of the train. So we now got a 5-car train potentially battling for the lead with 1.5 laps to go. Right. Okay. I can't quite believe how slowly Ford and Wogboy were going through turn 1. They held each other up so much. Spilly was now on to the back of the pair of them. Heading down this long straightaway for the second last time. The gap between the top 2 is 0.3 of a second. Heading around the penultimate turn, turn 14. Oh, it's a big chef cut from 40. Oh, he might have a puncture, actually. Does 40 have a puncture? He has a puncture. He has to come into the pit lane. Spilly takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Can Wogboy do anything into turn 1? The answer is no. Oh, but he gets awfully close to the Aston Martin. Into the opening hairpin, around turn 2, around turn 3. I said punctures were going to be a factor with the amount of tyre wear, and it turns out the man who's affected by it was our race leader himself, heading out of turn 4, heading towards the S section of turns 5, 6 and 7. The gap is half a second. Spilly is starting to pull away. Coming around turn 8, it's now 6.5 tenths. There's yellow flags. It's Leo, I think. He might have a puncture. No, he doesn't. He's just got pretty short tyres at the moment. Grimmy and Plebs are taking P6 and 7. Crichton's closing in on Wogboy, who's losing time. Hand over fist to Spilly. What an unbelievable set of circumstances going on here in Bahrain. These guys will not be able to challenge Spilly unless he gets a puncture or he makes a mistake or something. He's got a clear track in front of him and only 2 corners to negotiate. The gap is 0.8 of a second. This battle was fought between Wogboy and Ford. The man who's going to win it is Spilly, completely out of nowhere. He will take the checkered flag and win the Bahrain Grand Prix. How about that? A big spin at the line there for Fiery Hour. Wogboy will finish in 2nd. Crichton will finish in 3rd. And ACW will finish in 4th place. Oh, a big crash at the line there for Leo Azevedo. And another big crash for, I believe that was Karma. Oh, and a big shunt there between, I think that was Fiery Hour and Leo. How about that? Plez P6, Chip in P7, Grimmy in 8th, Karma in 9th, Leo will round out the top 10. Oh, dearie me. Well, how about that? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, game. There we are. The end to quite the race. And it's Spilly who takes the winner's trophy. Wogboy will take another podium in 2nd place. Crichton will complete the podium in 3rd. After getting a bit screwed over by the safety car, he's come back. Finished on the podium. What an effort. What an effort from all 3. Oh. Rightio, we'll run through the unofficial final results of this Bahrain Grand Prix, the 100th round of Race Spec Esports Pacific Series. It's Spilly who takes the win after starting from 10th. He ends up winning the race, overtaking the leaders on the very last lap. Wogboy will finish in 2nd. Crichton recovers to 3rd. ACW finishes in 4th. Fiery Hour in 5th. Plebs from P12, he finishes P6. Chip from P15 to P7. Grimmy P8. Karma in 9th. Leo rounds out the top 10. And we've got 40, average only. Bags Liddell. G4 Zach with fastest lap. And Hiller's our final finisher in 15th. Jedley, Ventani, and Swaggy were our only retirements over the course of this race. Well, there we are. How's that for a race? What a nice way to celebrate our 100th round. Oh. And this will be win number 3 for Spilly in this championship. Won the opening 2 rounds in Portugal and China. He'll win here today in Bahrain and close the gap on his championship rival, GeForce Crichton. We'll invite the top 3. We'll have a nice little chat about what just happened here today. I'm sure a couple of them will have plenty to say. Not so much Wogboy. Wogboy is a man of few words, and we love him for it. Rightio. I'll be back in a few moments. We'll blue screen so I can invite the top 3 in. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. There is Wogboy. Where is Spilly? Spilly. And of course, Crichton's offline because, oh, of course. GeForce Crichton. Hello, Crichton. We're blue screened at the moment, so you can say whatever you like right now. No one will hurt you. Wasn't it ever? That was certainly very interesting to watch. Oh, that's right. Philly doesn't have a headset, does he? Oh, I think he broke his. Hopefully he'll be able to find something. I'm sure you'd like to talk about it. I think everyone was. Yeah. Oh, does Wild Boy want to talk? Yeah, no, maybe? No. I hope so. He's a man of few words, but still. Yeah, it's nice to hear. Alrighty. Well, we'll start. Because why not? We only have Crichton in at the moment. Hopefully the other two are capable of joining. I do remember that Spilly does have that broken headset, but he might be able to find something, I don't know, if he can or not. But we'll just do a nice long interview at sea if the other two decide to join Crichton. And I imagine you have plenty to say about what happened tonight, because you put on quite the performance in qualifying and in the race. It's not the result that mattered, though. It's that whole drive from coming back after getting a bit screwed over from the safety car and clawing your way through to still finish third. That is a mega effort. But it all started from qualifying. And you messaged that lap was almost as good at Silverstone. Just take us through it.
Yeah, the quali lap wasn't too bad. I'd say that Bahrain's probably a track that I usually struggle with in qualifying. You tend to see the pad users really, really quick here. So I was kind of hoping for a top 5 and stuff after my first run, which was a bit meh. And then yeah, Bailey I think laid down a 25.9, and I said to him, I was like, "Geez, you're making me work for this one." So I said to him, "1 sec, just let me turn the game sound up a bit more." And then I think I beat him by half a tenth or something, and I was like, "All right, that's probably about all I got, I'd say, in the tank." And then final run, somehow the lap just came to me and managed to bang out a 7.1. So I'm quite happy with that on limited testing. So very stoked.
Reckon you could find any more time in the lap?
Oh, there's always more time.
There's always more time, yeah.
I'd say turn 1, turn 2, just on power. I was struggling with those corners all tonight. I don't know, it's hard to find the balance on how much throttle.
No, I completely agree. That's probably my least favourite part of the circuit, is trying to get on the power through that bit. It's just, it's never nice. It's always feels like it's skatey at times as well. Yeah, never fun. And then the race happened. You were leading pretty much all the way through until the safety car came out. Got a great start. Had a very, very good start. Led the field. But yeah, just safety car came out at the wrong time, didn't it?
I wasn't really nowhere near the pit lane, and I saw that, I don't know, I forget who crashed out. It flashed up on the top of my screen, and I just didn't see the whole yellow track, and I was like, damn, then Bailey went in, so I was kind of like,
everyone else.
And then the safety car picked me up at turn 1, and I thought, alright, we're going here. Back down to P17 we go. That I'd say about then, like, I wouldn't say that I had given up, because I never give up, but I was like, shit, if I can get a top 5 here, that'd be amazing. I think I restarted P15, P16 or something. And first lap picked off 2 or 3 guys, and then it slowly got a lot harder as I climbed the field, but I found it actually quite not too hard. Like quite easy. Like it wasn't too bad. And then managed to pass a few more guys, and there was a little gap closed in on them, and the tyres were starting to hurt because I was driving the car a bit too hard, I'd say, just on power. So the tyres were pretty gone, but I was like, we'll see what we can do here. So we caught Spilly, and then I passed him, and then I don't know why I wanted to fight, because we probably could have closed into Wogboy and Bailey, I'd say, a bit quicker. So I was kind of like, what the fuck's he doing there? So I thought he might have had a bit more smart, he's been around a long time like me, but and then my tyres were gone. They were 90-something% on the final lap when I crossed the line, and the rear through the middle sector, oh my god, I've never tried pushing so hard with little grip in my life.
Driving on ice skates sounds like fun.
Exactly. And then tyres were just gone. That's when Spilly got me back, and I kind of put up the white flag and was just hoping the tyres were going to last. They were red. It was flashing red on my screen. I was like, oh no, here we go, get another Portugal. And then Bailey's tyre blew on 78% or something, I believe. So that was quite unfortunate, because he probably had that win wrapped up, and
Yeah,
then somehow Spilly won it, so yeah, nice job to him on that.
Yeah, I guess he had the best tyres on the lap that it mattered, and as soon as he got to the front, he just drove away, easy as. So, but no, that I did read that 40's tyres went at about 70-odd%, and you said you had 90-odd on yours.
Yeah.
I don't get this game.
I don't know. Just typical me. I always just abuse the tyre a bit too much.
And get away with it. I don't know.
Yeah, somehow, like tonight, I got away with it, so I'll take that.
It's like that race. I remember you had 100% tyre wear.
You'll say, yeah. Yeah, Koda,
and no puncture. Because,
no puncture.
I don't know. Like, tyres are completely gone, literally, and no puncture.
Yeah. I have been quite lucky, I'd say, in the past, but there's also been some other moments when I've gone on 60-70%, so...
And, yeah, it just goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would love to know what Spilly's tyres are on. I'm sure he's in the chat still, but... He must have had fresh tyres, because his pace last 3 laps was way better than mine. I was throwing the bloody whole kit and caboodle at it, and I was nowhere. I was about to spin out, so... No, he managed his tyres really good there. But yes, quite happy with that drive from the back off that safety car lane. Very happy.
Well, I'm grateful you provided us. Yeah, quite
for
right.
For me again, yeah. Start on pole and then just trying to come back through. So I'm quite happy to limit the damage to P3 here tonight.
84%, Spilly.
84, okay, not too bad.
Yeah, 84. So he had better, but he didn't have as good as 40. And his tyres still went. I swear it's RNG. It has to be. There's nothing else that dictates it. Sure, like it hits 70%. It's just like, all right, it can go whenever. It just doesn't matter. It's a lottery, I reckon. There's just no consistency to it. But no, it's rather fitting that a member who has been here since the very beginning of Season 1 is on the podium. So for our 100th race.
Oh, it is 100th race too.
Yeah, it is. 100th round of the Pacific Series. Has Wogboy been here since the very beginning as well? Curiosity?
Wogboy, I think he has been.
Oh, hello. Your notification did not come up. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you enter. Unless it did and I just wasn't paying attention. Have you been here from the beginning? Sort of. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, but Wogboy's been here since Season 1. I'm pretty sure in League Racing, in Race Spec.
Alright.
Yeah. Season 2?
Season 3. Yeah. So I've been here longer. I came around midway through Season 2 as a broadcaster. And I've commentated hundreds of races ever since. Holy moly, it's been long. I know, it's fitting then that we'd have 2 drivers then. Since the beginning, because Spilly, I'm pretty certain, has been here since the beginning. It's only fitting then, really, that he ended up winning the race. I think you, Crichton, Spilly, 40, Plebs.
40. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Not really. On PlayStation side, I think that's about it. There's a lot of people have come and gone over the seasons, but I'd say the levels slowly increased actually, so it's been really good.
Yeah, qualifying's been mega. Past couple
tonight
of races.
Showed how close it was.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Good. Really good.
On a track that everybody knows, to see the top 15 separated by a second, that's pretty nuts. So, yeah, pretty good to see. But final question for you, Zach, before we move on to Wogboy.
Yep.
Next week, we're over to Jeddah. Jeddah Corniche circuit.
Jeddah. Have we raced there before?
I think there was an endurance race there.
So we haven't actually done a Pacific race there?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm not too sure. I reckon Quali, I'm going to give that a red hot crack around there, probably like Monaco, so I'll probably try pretty hard around that track to try and nail the lap. But I think in the race, probably just be trying to stay out, just don't hit the walls really.
Fair enough.
I think that'd be the main goal, but yeah, looking forward to that one.
Well, for now, congratulations on your P3 finish. Fantastic recovery after what happened during the race.
Cheers, thank you.
Wogboy, thank you very much for joining us here. Congrats on the P2 finish. A very calm drive, I'd say, from your end. Not too much aggression, just did what you needed to do, I'd say, is the best way of putting it. Just take us through what happened during qualifying and during the race. Mm. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Mm. Hang on, Wog Boy. I just noticed something from the chat. Yes, so... so you're on PS4. No, hang on. I'll do it for you. Hang on. Go to party screen. They should go to party settings. Always allow? Gotta always allow? Okay, good. Because, yeah, we interviewed earlier, and I was pretty certain we changed it.
2 weeks ago.
There we go. So it just reset itself. Now we're all good. Just continue where we were going off.
Where was I?
Race start.
Yeah, I just wasn't
managing
being aggressive.
tyres.
Didn't want to be aggressive on 40.
Yeah.
Because I just thought if I overtake him, he'd just overtake me back.
Yep.
And then didn't have much battery, so it was just pointless. And then checked the tyre wear and just realised it was going to be pretty bad at the end. I was just managing pretty much last 5-6 laps, and what was it? I think it was 2 laps to go. I think I broke late in turn 1, hit 40, and then that made Stewie catch up into DRS.
I see.
Which wasn't good. Yeah, I think it was the second last lap. I hit him, broke a little bit late. And then that's when Spilly caught up within 1 second.
I didn't get a great angle of it. I thought perhaps 40 checked up too early.
No, I think I just broke late.
Okay, fair enough.
Tiniest bit. I think just worn tyres. We had to brake a little bit earlier.
Yep, fair enough.
And then since then, it was just everyone was within a second. And then on the tyre wear was just bad. I was just managing so much. And then
just hanging on.
40 popped this tyre, and then I think I was behind when it happened, so I had to dodge him a little bit.
Get out of the way, yeah.
I think I got a shit exit on the last corner, and then Spilly
got through.
Got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was just managing on the last lap.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was.
Trying to defend from Zach.
And you did so.
Bump.
Oh, cheeky bump.
I was trying. Yeah. I had no rear grip through the middle section to close in. And then I was like, I might try and unsettle Wog Boy as he heads on to the back straight. If I can just make him lose traction a little bit and try in the last sector. But he got nice drive still, and I was like, damn, it's alright.
Fair enough.
No, you can have it.
Yeah, happy with P2.
I would be too, especially after that sort of race where you're constantly having to worry about the tyres, particularly at the end. It always gets so stressful, and you just hope that you hang on to whatever you can get. So.
Oh man, I was stressing over that.
Yeah, I would have been too as well if I was in your position. But no, other than the unfortunate qualifying, where you invalidated on your last lap, it sounded like a pretty well-controlled race. And you ended up finishing in second. But I think we already heard you. Well, the audience didn't hear your opinion about Jeddah. But I'm guessing you're not a fan of it.
Nah, it's only because it's shit on pad.
Yeah, fair.
So
yeah.
I'm on controller.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not easy. It is not easy at all. Especially the opening sector.
Let's see how it goes.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck to you next week then for that race in Jeddah. But for now, congratulations on another podium finish, finishing P2 tonight. And unfortunately, Spelly isn't able to join us. He has a broken mic. But no, congrats, Spelly. Awesome effort right at the end there.
Yeah, GG, Spilly.
Yeah,
good job, mate.
Had great pace right at the end. On that last lap when it all mattered, got through, took the lead, took the checkered flag. For the rest of the race, he was sort of in that upper top 5, top 10 area, and yeah, he stuck with the leaders. Fell behind a little bit, then had a little scuffle with you, Zach, and he ended up winning the race. Like that. There you go. But I think that will end the stream and conclude this 100th round of the Pacific Series. Quite the historic moment for the league, and what a way to mark the occasion. A fantastic race, plenty of racing going on, fantastic qualifying, and an unpredictable ending that I don't think any of us saw coming, with Spilly taking the checkered flag, claiming his third victory and closing the gap between him and Crichton in the championship. So it's not quite over just yet, which is good to see. But yes, with everything finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week, as there's still plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports, but for Pacific Tier 1, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 11 of the championship at the Jeddah Corniche circuit for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Goodbye.